fact, the overwhelming majority of women in America do not want white men. They don't like men, period. They don't really want men at all. So it's tough for all of us, but I do want to correct a huge false narrative that white boys are still at the top of the heat in America. It is not the case. I don't know in what planet or what universe you're living on, especially in the big cities like Miami, Los Angeles, New York. If you want to talk about, well, in my rural, city in Oklahoma where it's only white people, the few attractive women here, they all want white guys. Okay, sure. In rural Oklahoma, in, outskirts, Farmville, Nebraska, sure. Okay, I'm talking about Miami, Los Angeles, New York, the only cities in America that may actually have a few attractive women left. And also, like I said, don't put words in my mouth here. I'm not saying that dating is easy per se for Latino guys in the United States. I'm not saying that dating is easy for black guys in the United States. What I am saying is that black men, and to a little bit lesser extent Latino men, no, a lot lesser extent Latino men, but especially black men, that is the most desirable ethnicity in America. Those guys are at the top of the food chain. Yes, you, black men, okay? Don't make any excuses. Now, I want to talk about some things here. Doesn't mean that dating is easy for black guys in America. Like I said, American women, they just pretty much, they don't like men of any color, creed, ethnicity, and stuff like that. But attractive black guys, the few attractive black guys, even like I'd say, above average, the 7s, the 7.5s, you're number one. You're number one right now. I'm talking about some universal truths that may make you uncomfortable, things that if you have your eyes open will be obvious, and things that if you have your eyes closed, if you're under social conditioning, you will be blind to, but you can take my word for it. Okay, universal truth number one. Every Instagram model on Instagram with a blue check and hundreds of thousands, if not millions of followers, if she's ever to get a boyfriend and she posts him, it is a black guy. 100% of the time, without fail. Every Instagram model, every single time, without fail, without exception, in the history of humanity, when they get a boyfriend, it's a black guy. Next uncomfortable truth. Go out to a bar in Los Angeles, a Latino area. You're in a Hispanic, Latino, whatever you call it, area. And what are you going to see? You're going to see beautiful Latina women with very normal, very average, maybe even, heaven forbid, below average, short, normal income Latino guys. Okay, what are you not going to see? Those same beautiful Latina women with a white boy ever in the history of humanity. The next uncomfortable truth is that a lot of you guys don't have white friends, but if you do, just, ask around before you leave your retarded, unfounded, ungrounded YouTube comment, not based on any fact. Talk to a white friend. If you're a white boy in America and you turn on the mainstream media, or you go on your For You page on TikTok, or you leave your house, or you generally exist, you are bombarded with anti-white racism, anti-white propaganda. Go to YouTube after this video is done. You're already on YouTube, and search for, is it okay to be white? There was a poll given to black Americans. I'm not sure how accurate or whatever. I think this poll was done at a time around the George Floyd riots, or shortly after that, 2021, 2022, when there was even more than there probably is right now, anti-white, rhetoric going around. But long story short, half of black Americans, rough is 49% voted and said it is not okay to be white. So it's not morally okay to exist as a white person. Just point blank period. I mean, what does that tell you? Also, you'll see you can look at these street interviews where people ask that question, is it okay to be white? Overwhelming majority of black guys. I don't know about the majority, but a startlingly high percentage. Even if it was 3% would be a startling high percentage, but it's a fourth or a third, is it okay to be white? I mean, what do you mean? Can you elaborate? What do you mean elaborate? Elaborate on what? I can't be born? Now, okay. To reiterate some things I've said, not all black guys have it easy dating time in America. Most women just don't like men, American men, period. They're just born and bred. They're brainwashed by feminism. But for the few attractive guys, not the few, but the above average and, semi-attractive, black guys, you're tall, you got a good face, in shape, a little bit of money, you're number one. You have it the easiest time, you know. Now, I don't know if you want to date American women. You may find American women to be kind of repulsive and masculine like I do. But just look how black guys are portrayed. If you doubt this, black guys dominate sports. They dominate music. They dominate most of pop culture. They're portrayed as masculine, dominant, cool. Okay? It's just, you know, black guys, they have a certain swag about them that is considered very sexy to women. And the big dick stereotype definitely doesn't hurt. Latino guys, they have a huge advantage with Latina women, which are irrefutably the most attractive women, bar none. Beautiful faces, big titties, big ass. I mean, what more could you ask for? They come in all tones from, you know, whiter than me to darker than my shirt. So even if you have a certain skin tone, a preferred look, if you're in a Latino women, you can find that. And because they grow up in the same communities, maybe the Spanish, the culture. Also, it's very common to meet people through friends in Latino culture. That's how they still do dating a lot. You see all the time very normal guys cleaning up with super cute girls. Now, did I make this video to cry? Is this a big cry fest? I mean, I could go on and I could say, you know, white boys have been portrayed as nerdy ever since I've been growing up. You know, white boys are seen as, you know, nerdy and weak and this and that. And that's true, but I'm not here to cry. Actually, on the contrary, what I did rather than cry is actually fix the problem. I came out to this city that's in the middle of the Amazon jungle. I actually came out with a buddy of mine, Austin Holloman. Shout out to him. He has another channel. He's like a black passport bro, teaches dating, teaches how to make a remote income to do what he's doing. So shout out to him. And the white boy advantage is strong here. Now, Austin does well. Austin's black. If I didn't mention that, I think I just did. But Austin did very, very well, extremely well. He did almost as good as me, actually. But we both noticed that there's kind of like a white advantage here. White is still like, you know, the quote unquote, you know, the preferred, you know, ethnicity for a lot of women here. And case in point, I was doing a day game at the mall. We were actually eating sushi. Austin and I were getting sushi together. And this beautiful girl just came out of nowhere. And Austin actually saw her first. She's like, Casey, you know, 6 o'clock, beautiful girl. I, you know, ran up, chased her down, talked to her, got her number, ended up going out with her, and couple dates, and the dates ended successfully, if you know what I mean. And she was a legitimate beauty pageant winner. She won a beauty pageant in Brazil, in the north of Brazil. Now, if you guys don't know this, Rio de Janeiro, Sao Paulo, the two cities you've heard of, volume-wise, like percentage-wise, have like the bottom of the barrel women. The actual beautiful girls, they all come from like the north of Brazil. So if you're looking for like volume and percentage, yes, like Rio and Sao Paulo have beautiful girls, but like percentage-wise, like it's just more common. Like the genes, the DNA and stuff is mostly in the north of the country. Okay, north and northeast, etc. A couple other places, but anyway, she won a beauty pageant in Brazil. She's actually Venezuelan, but she lives in Brazil. You know, been here for 6 years. She speaks Portuguese, and she basically told me that she went out with me. She thought I was charming. She thought I was good looking. I'm tall. I'm, you know, 5'11", something like that. And, you know, that's tall for here, right? You know, things like that. And she liked that I spoke Spanish. We'll go into that in a second. But because I'm a white boy, the guy she dated before me was some Australian, came in for a little bit, little fling, nothing serious because he didn't live here. The next guy that she dated was some German dude. And then I was next. Because because that's her preference. Her preference is white boys, okay? And we're alone in the Amazon jungle. How many other semi-young, semi-good-looking, semi-in-good shape white boys is she going to find that speak fluent Spanish, really good Portuguese? She actually prefers to communicate in Spanish. That's her first language because keep in mind she's Venezuelan. She's not Brazilian. And I only basically like a rock star to her. So again, this isn't like a wah like cry fest about like, oh my God, it's so difficult to be a white boy in today's dating times. I'm not saying that. I'm just fed up and sick of it. Two things. Number one, when people use their ethnicity and their race and dating as excuses. So all my Asian brothers, all my Indian brothers, okay? Leave the United States. There's this thing called a passport, and you show it at borders to other countries and they let you pass into the other country, okay? It looks like a little, like, you know, booklet. Trust me, Google this thing called passports, okay? There are places where it's not illegal to be your ethnicity, where you actually have success in dating, okay? And It's also things like, your height, your genetics, your game, your overall strategy. We'll talk about strategy in a second. And I'm also fed up of people thinking that, only white boys, get all the girls, especially in America, because that's just nonsense. That's just like, wake up. Okay. White people receive the most racism, at least, publicly, in your face, socially acceptable, talked about it all on, Facebook, Instagram, and stuff. At least with that, receive the most celebrated and in your face, obvious, racism that doesn't need to be hidden at all. At least, if white people are racist towards black people, you have to hide it, right? But this is like in your face about it. And number two, black guys are the most desired ethnicity in dating by far in the US. And it's been like that for a very, very long time, ever since the Kardashians started, pedestalizing black guys and only dating black guys. Women are kind of sheep. They kind of follow the herd. And like I said, black guys are portrayed as dominant, masculine, athletic. They dominate all of music. They have swag. They get to use the N-word, etc. The big dick stereotype, all that stuff helps kind of maybe even like some bad boy image can work, for them and against them in certain cases, right? But I'm tired of people thinking, it's all about your race or white boys, this and that. Look, if you're Asian, if you're in, there's a lot of places where you can go. It all just depends on your strategy. And a big strategy of mine was putting myself in this city, in the Amazon, where white boys are still revered. And if you want to see the absolute best training on how to develop a good strategy for dating women, something that uses automations and other people's time, online dating virtual assistants, and a whole bunch of really cool stuff that I promise you've never seen anywhere else for meeting women. Again, the best strategy ever developed by a man for dating and meeting high quality, beautiful women, then just click the video that has appeared on the screen right now to watch that free training. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed my entertaining rant. Peace out, gentlemen.